We the Hebrew Israelites come week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of America. Wake up the lost sheets of Israel, the 12 tribes, which is the so-called Negro, Native American Indian, so-called Latino, Hispanic. So with that, first and foremost, we're going to face the east and give our honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honors and blessings to the elders, the apostle, great millstone, the water Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, for the elders, the apostle, on down for waking us up to the wisdom, knowledge, truth, of understanding through the spirit, power of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom to the few Akim, meaning the brothers, one pushing their truth and sincere across the four corners of the earth. Well, you might be scattered abroad, they look like the other nation whose bloodline go back to the 12 tribes of Israel. Shalom to the few Aqua, I believe as well, meaning the sisters want to repent and come back to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai in these latter days. And shalom to the little boys and girls who the Lord going to deliver also in these times to come too. With that, we're going to say shalom.
Shalom.
All right, what we're getting into today is Revelation 17, right? Babylon the Great, which is America according to the Bible, which America will be destroyed, right? By the ways of who? Our Lord Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. But we're going to dig into these scriptures to reveal who the mystery of Babylon talking about, which is going to go back to America according to the Bible. And that's that dark mystery and saying what the Lord have, what the servant can only reveal, right? Who the Lord give his secret, the servant, the prophets to. But we're going to go start with it.
This is Revelation 17:1. And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto you the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
All right, and that's that angel having that last seal was going to destruction, right? So he was talking to who? John the Revelator, when he was on the Isle of Patmos, right? He gave him a vision. He said, I'm going to show you the judgment of the great whore. See, the word whore is in the Bible, right? And which is America, is that great whore. Why? Because she's the master of fornication, right? Out of all the nations upon the earth, right? She lay down and with the other nations spiritually, but get what? She play them and trick them out of their treaties, right? But you got to...
I'll read it again. Revelation 17:1. And there came one of the seven angels, which seven means completion.
Yep, completion.
It says, which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
All right, so I'm going to deal with that great whore, or I'll go to Nahum chapter 3.
Oh, yeah, I was just thinking about that.
And 1. Because when we go to Nahum chapter 3 and 1, it's going to show you that even though ancient Nineveh, well, you know, America take on the places of all the ancient places, right? So ancient Nineveh is America's representation of ancient Nineveh, how it was set up back in the day. You got it.
This is Nahum 3:1. It says, Woe to the bloody city. It is all full of lies and robbery.
Right, so America's all full of what? Lies and robbery, right? The way America got everything, by the ways of lie, robbery, and deceit. Right, it's the bloody city. They came over here, shed the blood of the Israelites, which is the northern tribe, took their land, man, and they did that by the way of bloodshed. So this land is full of crimes, man, bloody crimes and robbery through Esau, Edom, so-called white man, red man.
If I can say this, like right now online, you have a discourse of so-called what you would call American white people that are saying that they're sick of the white guilt, right? The white guilt complex, right? And anything that they label so-called black, they call it woke. That's right. That's what they call it, right? It's supposed to be like a disrespectful term. But you people are the wokest of the woke, man. Well, really, you're gonna be, the Lord's gonna destroy you. He's waking you up to your destruction, right? You so-called white people, you've done too much destruction throughout the entire earth to think you're gonna just fucking walk away and think that's all. It's all human race. No, it don't work like that. The Lord has judgment for every fucking body, including you, right? It said, oh, go ahead. I'm going to start at 1 and then about 4. This is Nahum 3:1. It says, Woe to the bloody city. It is all full of lies and robbery.
Woo!
The prey departeth not.
And we're the prey, right? Prey departed not, because we still up under the enemies of the Israel. Well, we still up under Esau, Edom, which is the enemy to the Israelites and to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
You got it.
It says, Nahum 3 and 4, it says, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot.
See? It going back, and this is a representation of America, taking on the spirit of ancient Nineveh, man, the well-favored harlot, right? You got it.
It says the mistress of witchcraft.
The mistress, in the feminine way, is the master of witchcraft, right? Which is America. Everything America get, and where they gonna build this self-dom, what is wealth and riches, It through what? The way of witchcraft, man.
Right.
Got all the nations up under that spell.
Yep.
And also we gonna get the scripture that hey, the nation drunken up under this spell.
That's right.
You got
It
it.
says that selleth the nations through her whoredoms.
See?
And oh, go ahead.
Nah, I was saying see selling the nation through a whoredom, which you can take that back to Revelation 11 when they were where they say they send a gift to each other, selling the nation through their whoredom. And also when you can go to Revelation 18 where they like to slay the souls of men. When you go read, right? Selling the nation through a whoredom. You got it.
It says that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame.
So right, and the Lord gonna do that. So the Lord doing that right now by way of revealing the this mystery of Babylon, which go back to Esau Edom, which is America.
right.
The Lord putting these folks on forefront gonna lift up their skirt and showing everybody the wickedness, just like it say, never trust our enemy as iron Russia with its wickedness.
That's right.
Even though it look like it's roughly paraphrasing wiped away, it's not all wiped away.
That's right.
So because the Lord revealing this place, and no matter what, how Esau Edom try to clean things up and make it seem like he's not that devil who the Bible speak of, the Lord just gonna keep proving the fact that this are the devil that the Bible speak of.
That's right.
Matter of fact, you can jump back to go to Revelation 17. I want to deal with the waters real quick too.
This is Revelation 17:1 again. It says, and there came one of the seven vials, which had the seven vials. It's like one of the seven angels, which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither. I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
All right, and we can jump to Revelation 15:17 real quick and let you know what the water is, because it's not talking about 17. It's not talking about the regular physical water, what this whole sitting on, even though it's sitting on the water. But you know, the Lord used different parables and metaphors for people.
Right.
You got
This is Revelation 17:15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest,
Nah, you go ahead.
Revelation 17:15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples, and multitudes, and nations, and tongues.
So this water where this whole city is talking about the people, right? As I told you, people, multitude, nation, and tongue. Because America is that great melting pot. With all nations, you had so many different nations that come over here and dwell in America. Why? Because they know they can come get rich out the back of the Israelites with America. So, but this is that great melting pot, because this is where everybody decided to want to live at, because this is supposed to be the so-called American dream.
I was gonna say, this is part of the characteristics that make America what America is, what the brother's breaking down. So what he's showing you is that, yes, America is in the Bible, okay? Do not believe these weirdos out here talking about, show me in the Bible where it says America. Well, the Lord gave
right.
characteristics, man.
Right.
Okay? You got to have a spiritual eye to be able to see what the Bible's actually saying. If you don't have a spiritual eye, because it's not given us. Simple as that. Right.
All right. That's it. Go back. Now go to Jeremiah 51:13 for me real quick. I'm gonna jump to Jeremiah, because Jeremiah talk about the same thing. This mystery of Babylon, man. Right? Because you had prophets, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Zephaniah. The Lord was giving all these prophecies according to what's gonna happen in the future, right? And that Babylon, what Jeremiah was talking about, wasn't talking about the Babylon that they were dwelling in back then, because that Babylon didn't go out the ways by the ways of fire and things like that, and the way how things working today.
It's still sitting.
But it's right. It's Babylon still sitting.
Yeah.
You got
how in the hell? No, it's like I just want to say, but how? Like they try to. That's what George W. Bush and them was trying to go into Iraq, because they know that was ancient Babylon. So they was like, oh, we have to destroy Babylon.
Right.
See, Esau is a weirdo, bro. Hey, you so-called white people, you're the devil, man. This is Jeremiah 51:13. It says, O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thine end is come.
Woo.
And the measure of thy covetousness, it says, the Lord Yahweh of hosts hath sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee.
Right. So the Lord told you in another thing, when it was saying the many waters, it broke it down again in Jeremiah. So they're letting you know Jeremiah is talking about the mystery Babylon in Revelation during the time period we in now.
Before Revelation even came.
Yeah,
Before
right. Before John Revelation came, Jeremiah was already speaking of it.
Old Testament, man.
Right. Right. See, prophecy all throughout the Bible, man. Old Testament, all throughout the Bible, man. That's why at the same time you got to eat the whole road.
That's right.
You just can't say, well, the Old Testament dealing with the Old Testament, or I'm just dealing with the new, man. Like the Lord told Ezekiel, John the Revelator, eat the road, man. Which is the Bible. You got to eat all this doctrine, from the front to the back. Ain't no you want to accept what you accept, right? But it said abundant in treasure, which is, and that go back to America today, which that Babylon the Great. That's the abundant in treasure. But now America gonna have to face the music. Like the elder said, Elder Morella said, they're going to have to face the music on these things, right?
Right.
The Lord for to break it into this place, man. Destruction coming.
Right.
These riches are no longer going to be holding the other nation along with America stable. But you can jump back to 17. You can go to 2 if you want to. Yeah, go to 2. Revelation 17 and 2.
Right. This is Revelation 17 and 2. It says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication.
Right? The kings of the earth, all these world leaders, powers, right? Committing fornication means spiritual adultery with America. This not talking about you have people who don't understand and don't have the spirit of you. How about you try to be able to discern? They'll be like, oh, it's a physical fornication. See the whole laid down with them. No, man, this is talking about a spiritual sense, right? Cause all these nations take part and heed to America, man.
That's important that you said that, because the so-called white man to come up with his doctrine and say, well, did you have sex with a woman? Well, you committed fornication.
Right,
you had sex with a woman before marriage? You committed fornication.
Right.
No, nigga, that's not what it's talking about.
In the fornication, man, in the physical sense is you jumping in another man's wife, man.
Or committing sex in the anal cavity.
Right.
That's fornication.
That's the fornication, man.
Not homosexuality.
You can pop a woman as long as she ain't got no man, right? So that's not fornication. But how they try to twist it and make it up. But you got it.
It says, Revelation 17 and 2, it says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
See, drunken with the wine of her fornication, which is going to her doctrine, her philosophy, right? Of the way America move and carry on throughout the earth with experience and knowledge where they have it pushed on all the other nations. That when you go to some other countries, hey, they take on the ways of America.
That's
right? Through everything. You also have some adopted to Christianity, not all of them, but a lot of the other nations they follow Christianity. Right. You got the Chinese, Japanese, African.
Well, even their religions are based in some form of Edomitism, right? Mm-hmm. If I can make up a word, right? Think about it. You got the Rosicrucians that are Christians, the Muslims, right? You so-called blacks, all right? You love those the Islam, right? Well, did you know that it's based in Catholicism, which goes back to what? Rome, right? That's what you celebrate. You got the what those beads, prayer beads I got or whatever. Right, same thing.
Yeah,
right.
Ain't no difference.
Even all over the world, Edomites have taken over the world. Okay, no matter what system that you claim to love or you think it's outside of Esau, it's not. Right. It's within that system, man. We're the only system that's now outside of the so-called white man. I got a precept.
You got it.
This is Jeremiah 51 and 7.
Oh, damn, I had to get that. What I was saying again, that spirit.
Yeah, I know, I already know. This is one of my favorite subjects. This is Jeremiah 51 and 7. Babylon have been the golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
Woo! And right, the nations are mad. Because these nations gonna lay down with this whore, meaning they gonna be in with treaties and agreements with America, but America never fully stand on they part of business, right? So therefore, the nations are mad because now they starting to actually see and take this hoe for what she really are. Like, this bitch a hoe, man.
Yeah.
This bitch just played me. They just like a regular whore.
That's right.
What she do? She go around commit fornication. Now I'm talking about in the physical sense.
Yeah.
But she commit fornication with all these different men But you might have these men stay actually attached to her. So she telling them, make agreements and promise to them. But get what? At the end of the day, she playing them and she ain't making them. So damn, you get me like, damn, they bitch played me out my money. She gonna do it like, damn, now you ready to go bone it. Now you ready to go jump on her.
Right.
Well, that's how the nation feel about America.
Well, if I can say
Now
this,
you got her.
that's in a physical sense. Like I say, with a whore, what does a whore do? She blink her eyes
Yep.
real hard. She wear the them high heel clicking and clacking.
Yep.
That little
If
short
we go
little
get to
dress.
that.
Right.
Yep. Cuz.
That short little dress and let you entice you to make you think that really you the only man.
Woo.
You one of millions, right? And you getting played just like the rest of the millions are. You know? I'll read that again.
You got it.
Oh,
That's
good.
like I just say. That's how America do the other nation. They make them seem like, yeah, man, I'm fucking with you like this unto a certain extent. But behind it, like, nigga, she dealing with everybody.
With
America, they dealing with everybody. Like, nigga, you told her that.
Nigga, that's community vagina, man. That's earth vagina right there. You know what I'm talking about?
You got
This is Jeremiah 51:7. It says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
And that's the point. It say it made all the nation drunken. So there's no nation on the earth that haven't sipped this cup of Mystery Babylon, which is America.
That's right.
Which ran by the so-called white man, which is go back to biblical name to Esau Edom.
That's right.
So all the
No, I was saying that's right. Yeah.
So
I agree.
Okay, but all the nation drunken, man, and that's that golden cup, right? With the Lord, it got something valuable in that cup, which filled up with destruction. With the Lord go pray.
I got a precept.
You got
This is Revelation 6:4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given unto him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword.
Right, and that horse is red. It represents talking about the so-called white man, which they're really not white, because white mean pure. They really red.
Yep.
Which go back to the Edomites,
That's right.
right? Esau Edom. And what?
You can tie back to Rome.
Yep.
Because they call themselves the ancient Romans, right?
Yep.
The ancient Greeks, right?
Yep.
Well, that's what your legacy is.
Now you good.
This is Revelation 6:4 again. It says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given unto him.
See, the Lord gave these devil power, because the Lord tell you he take down kings and set up kings.
That's right.
They in the power. They in power because Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. But the Lord got them in power so that what the Lord can show you what wickedness is and what be the penalty for being wicked, man, upon the earth. That's why he got a great judgment coming to this place.
That's right.
That's why I said, hey, Babylon's that golden cup.
That's right. That's right.
In the Lord's hand. It ain't Satan. It ain't no other
It
place.
didn't say Satan's
Right.
hand. It said the Lord's hand.
The Lord's
And
hand.
all capitals too. Yahweh's hand.
God.
Okay. Also, you niggas that are sold out, all you niggas that are you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, those of you that are sold out for a purchase, a bag, right? You sold out for no reason.
Yup,
Because
really?
the Lord, hey, guess what? The so-called white man works for the Lord.
Right. He's the left hand side
Right.
of the Lord using the work on with.
I'd rather take these little pennies I get every week from this
Right.
stupid job that I hate than sell out and have to turn my anus inside out, man, for another nigga, right? And then gotta goddamn bow down to my woman, man. Talking about she's my queen. Fuck
Right.
out of here, man.
The queen go to prostitute.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah, but back to whore. This is Daniel 4:17. It says, this matter is by the decree of the watchers and by the demand of the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men.
Right? So, hey, it just told you, the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, ruling in the kingdom of man. So, everybody, hey, through from the mans of the Lord, through the watchers, through the watchmen,
That's right.
hey, the mans of the Lord and the angels, man, hey, we know that Yahweh Shem Yahushua rule in the kingdom of man.
That's right.
So what we were just saying, the Lord, this is how you know the Lord in control, because you got a base man sitting in power, right? The lowest of all people. Because you like, damn, how a nigga so low out of all nations be so superior and conquer nation? Because Yahweh Bashim Yahushua set it up. 4-2 to come in power, because why? They are the seed of the spiritual being Satan, of wickedness. They know no right. So the Lord set them up so he can show you, hey, this what happened when you got them being wicked. This is what happened, right? Judgment on a whole nother level, especially coming to America. That's why the Lord said he gonna destroy this one with fire, man.
It's like these precepts coming out. You speaking of, they're coming out. This is Proverbs 20:24. Man's goings are of the Lord, Yahweh. How can a man then understand his own way?
See, the man gone was over. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So what we be, that's just like, for example, man, you might do something, be like, damn, why I did that? And you really might like, damn, why I did it? Because you did it, because it's not of your going.
That's right.
It's of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. We program from day to day. When you lay down, the scripture tell you when you lay down amongst your bed, that the Lord, roughly paraphrasing, hey, he tempering with the mind, your thoughts.
Right.
So you, from when you go to sleep and wake up, you already programmed what you gonna do.
That's right.
That's why when stuff happens, you can't stop it.
That's right.
Like, damn, you wish you could, but it ain't over your going.
Right.
That's just like Esau Edom. He probably be like, well, damn, how I get in power like this? Like, he know he a base man, you right? But his goings is of the Lord. They are the wicked.
What he gonna do?
Right.
He gonna say, well, one day he gonna just say, I'm not the devil no more. That's not how that works.
All right. You got it.
Daniel 4:17 again, it says, this matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the man by the word.
All right.
Daniel 4:17, this matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones,
All right.
to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men.
All right, from the, like I say, from the watchers, the watchmen, the angels to the mans of the Lord. Hey, we letting you know that the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, rule in the kingdom of man.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's just like how the angel was giving John the revelator the division.
That's right.
The cedar horse that showing him that, hey, the Lord ruling and got this horse set up for a special judgment.
Right. Ain't nothing he can do
Ain't
about it.
nothing they can do about it.
It says, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set up over it the basis of men.
See, set up over the basis of man. He said he give it to whoever he will. So the Lord can give a kingdom to set up a certain nation to be able to run the entire world, man.
Right.
He can give it to anybody to run. But what the Lord had in mind, who to give it to? Esau, the base man, the so-called white man, Esau Edom. So like you say, he take on the physical counterpart of the spiritual being saved.
That's right.
Right? Because that spirit, that Esau Edom and his seed line go all the way back to that serpent in the garden, all the way from Cain, like I said, well, yeah, in the Esau, all the way up to the Edomites still exist today. The red man.
Revelation 6:4. Back again. It says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given unto him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth.
All right, and it said that horse, she's like, yeah, and that horse was red. And we already know they go back to the Edomite, but also coming with the Edomites, they also coming from what? The Roman Empire. They come from that great red dragon, which we gonna get into all that too. Right? So, hey, it's all add up and make sense. All right, who this red dragon is, who this red horse is, which is the Esau Edom. When, like you say, when you read it, it tells you all the characteristics of this scarlet colored beast. What we gonna get into? This red dragon.
Yep.
This red is all go back to Esau Edom. And you look today like, damn, yeah, that sound like this sound like America.
Right.
Right, it sound like the white man got going on, because it is. This is what the Lord talking about.
That's right. It says, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword.
Right, and they should kill one another, man. All the way back from during the time of the Romans and things, they used to fight against each other and the other empires, and all the way up to the day, because the Lord gonna also have these folk going against each other during Civil War and WW3.
Right.
They gonna go against you gonna have Edomites fighting Edomites, because you gonna have their own allies. They gonna turn their back. Right, and we gonna dive into it, like all that covered up, man. The Lord revealing these devils on a higher level, on a level they never been exposed as before.
Right.
Yeah, you can go back. Yeah, you can go back to 17.
Revelation 17:2, and like the brother was saying, it just we're just breaking down the fact that the Lord is in control of all this, and He put up the so-called white man to be in power right now. It's not of the greatness of the so-called white man, because he ain't great, right?
Right.
The Lord put him in power so that he can show the earth what it looks like to have the basis of people ruling the entire earth in straight wickedness.
Woo, conquer. And that's what you get when you got a base man ruling the earth when they not of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai.
Right. Revelation 17:2, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
All right, and we explained that. We broke that down. Now we're going to move on to 3. Verse 3.
Verse 3, it says, so he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy.
Hey, and it said he saw a woman sat on that scarlet-colored beast, right? And let's get that scarlet-colored beast. We're going to go to Revelation 12, all right? Shalaki, Revelation 13:1.
This is Revelation 13:1. It says, and I stood upon the sand.
Shalaki, 12:3. Then we're going to jump to 13.
This is Revelation 12:1, right?
12:3.
This is Revelation 12:3. It says, and there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon.
See, it appeared in that great red dragon, right? That red dragon talking about who? Esau Edom, going back to the Roman Empire.
Roman Empire, right.
Right, dealing with the so-called white man.
That's right.
That is that great red dragon.
That's right. It says, I'll start again. Revelation 12:3 again, it says, and there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head.
All right, in the 7 heads, going back to the Roman, going back dealing with the Edomites with their Roman Empire.
That's right.
And the 10 horns dealing with the EEC, right? With NATO, the EU. But you have the 7 head is the Germania Minor, the French,
Yep.
the Spanish, Britain, Roman, I mean the Greeks,
Yeah.
and
Rome.
the Roman.
Yeah.
Those are the 7 head.
No,
Yeah, that's the 7 head. The Germania Minor, Germania Major,
Yeah.
the French, the Spanish,
Yeah.
Britain, the Greek, and the Rome, right? Those are the 7 head, which America come up out of them 7. America come up out of them 7 head, and we gonna get that. They gonna break it all down to let you know, man.
And the scripture says of the 8 came of the 7.
Yep, and of the 8 came to 7. Cause it gonna come, and when you read on, it gonna tell you that, and we gonna go get a precept to bear that up too when we get to it.
That's right. You want me to keep reading?
Yeah, you can. You can start back from 3.
All right, this is Revelation 12:3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and the 7 crowns upon his head.
Right, cause this is 7. Cause these are the nation that were ruling, right, back then with the 7 crowns upon their head, which later on where it gonna die off, and then it gonna come on till where lead on to the revival of the Roman Empire, which gonna come through the form of America, right? With them setting up the things they setting up today through the 10 horns. It gonna come out. It gonna come out like that. All right, you gonna matter of fact, go to Revelation 13:1 real quick.
It's Revelation 13:1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise out of the sea.
All right, this John Revelator, when she was on the Isle of Patmos, the Salt Mine, doing what? He was about on the Mediterranean Sea, in the surrounding sea. You got it.
It says, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns.
Right? It's no, so I can go ahead.
I'm gonna read again.
You got it.
And upon his, and it's like having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns.
See, and there go again. Upon his horns, 10 crowns, because you're gonna have the 10 European nations. They gonna be ruling right now, which they in this time during the future time, because you have what I finna say. You have, like I said, you go back to the EEC, the European Economic Community, right? But these was an empire that were gonna be ruling, and like you say, you see that from when they started in 1958 all the way to the 2000. Man, matter of fact, they gonna when they had matter of fact, it gonna pop up later when we keep reading. But you see that when it came from 1958, they've been in power ever since, right? Those are the 10 horns, the 10 crowns, right?
The EU.
Yeah, but now I was saying now it's gonna be another scripture later on. What I was finna say, I was finna jump the gun a little bit, but I'm gonna save it until we get to it. But right now, them 10 horns, going back with the 1958, they've been in power ever since, right? Them 7 heads, you got the 10 horns. You can go back to you can jump back to 3. Yeah, read on through. We can go back to
Read what, chapter 12, 13.
17 and
Oh,
3.
come.
My bad.
Revelation 17 and 3, it says, so he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet colored beast full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
Right, and like we said, that 7 head and 10 horns that's not talking about America, but America comes from amongst them 7 head and 10 horns.
Right.
You got it, I'll keep reading on.
It says, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand of abominations and filthiness of her fornication.
Right, and we gonna go deal with that arrayed in purple, right? Because you know, also when you get that purple, it also goes into like wealth, riches, and authority, power.
Right.
Also, which matter of fact, I'll pull Revelation 18.
Well, if I could,
Go ahead.
well, also dealing with the color purple, you mix the color blue and red together, it makes purple. So when you go into the democratic system of Esau, right? He has the Republicans and the Democrats, and what do they represent? The blue and the red.
Right.
So it's a part of that. It's a part of that scarlet colored beast, man. Or purple, right? Or red and purple.
And also that purple and scarlet also going to costliness, right? Going with basically with his riches and wealth. You got 18 and 19.
18 and 19.
Revelation 18 and 19. Now say you can start from 18 read down 19 real quick.
This is Revelation 18 and 18. And cried when they saw the smoke of her burning. This is Revelation 18 and 19. And they cast dust upon their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, the great city, that great city wherein were made. Oh, go ahead.
Now I would say, said that great city, which city, America ain't that but one big country, man, which the citizen make up the city. The citizen make up the city, so the city go back to the citizen. But it would have said they cried because you have a lot of nation. They deal with America through their wealth and riches. That's why the Lord gonna take this place down and say they were weeping and crying. Right. Everybody gonna be looking like, well, damn, what happened to that great city? What happened to Babylon? It was so. Nah, go ahead.
Well, if I want to say, if I could say, also the fact that you're dealing with the dollar right now is a devaluation right now. Right, you got the Russians and the Chinese are coming together to try to bring up the BRICS nations, right? So that they can trade amongst each other and cut out the dollar. Okay, that's also a part of the prophecy, right? The dollar is now going down in its value, and that's going to happen? That's going to cause all of the other nations that are every other currency is tied onto the American dollar, man, in some way or form or another. Right? So when the dollar goes down, guess what? All the economies around the world are going to shut down as well. And they're going to all feel the pinch too. Right?
Right, because another thing, all the nation getting rich out the back of this whore. Right, because they hate her at the same time, but shit, this how they also prospering off the back of this whore too.
Right.
You know?
That's what happens when you tie yourself to the whore, man.
Right.
A whore, you listen, if a whore is your business plan, she can do anything.
Yeah.
Like if you're a pimp, you gotta always be on top of her. You gotta always be that pimp hand gotta be strong.
Cause this the baddest bitch in the stable, man. They just like you might act like a pimp. He might got about 5 whores, man, 5 bitches. Right. But out of all 5, you got this one that everybody admire the most. Like, boy, I want her.
She get all the money.
Right, she getting all the money. From her look. She got on she got on the most expensive wig,
right?
The stiletto, the most expensive attire, clothes. She got on everything expensive.
Right.
But all the rest on you look like they all right.
Yeah.
They're like, damn, she it out of everybody.
Right.
Which that's just America, man. That's why when the place go down, they gonna be casting dust like, God damn, what happened?
All that money gone.
All the money gone. Well, it was the baddest bitch in the stable. What happened to her? I loved this hoe. I hate that bitch at the same time, but I loved her. I loved her, but I hate this bitch.
It literally be like that. Yeah.
Damn.
Revelation 18 and 19, it says, and they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city, wherein we're made rich, all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness.
See, they go back that purple and scarlet. The reason of her costliness, man, the way America set up and the way how America they got their wealth and riches and running everything. But But it's and that's it, and what it say in the ships in the sea. And how America get a lot of their thing, they get it deported through the sea, man.
Right.
So they just show you this they talking about a future place, which is America.
Right.
All that going on today. You see how they running how they governing everything right now with the tariffs. With the way that Trump's in the tariff, hey, they ain't got to do nothing. The other nations ain't got to do nothing. Canada be like, well, Canada, where they ain't got to come through the water, but other nations like China, all them other nations in the foreign nations all across the water who get that thing deported through ship, they can just be like, well, fuck it, man, stop letting the ship run. We ain't seeing shit over there.
Right.
You know, even though it come through planes and but also come through the ship. But it was saying that you can't make that up, man. That places talking about America, that's how they get their goods, man. Deportation through other nations.
And also, yeah, you know what that creates, right? Well, now, because America doesn't create anything or generates its own wealth through the things that the products that it makes, and it gets all this wealth through shipping, or they get all that stuff through shipping, well, that's gonna cause a uproar of demand, right? All right, you got demand, and then you got the cost of the demand, right? Because if you have less of something, guess what's gonna make it It's gonna make it more, right? That's general supply and demand. When you have less of a supply, but the demand is still greater, well, guess what? You're gonna have famine out here. You're gonna have people that are going to resort to violence to get what they gotta get. Yeah. Jacob's trouble, right? That's what. Hey, the brother breaking it down, man.
Hey, the Lord got that. What I'm saying, man. Like the brother just said, Jacob trouble. Like all this gonna take place over here in Mr. Babylon, man, America. The place where you so-called Negro, Native American Indian love the most, who don't side with y'all about y'all shot.
That's right. It says, for in 1 hour is she made desolate. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High have avenged you on her.
See, right, and that's what we waiting for. We waiting for Yahweh Bashim Yahushua to take this whore down. But everybody else who dealing with this whore, they gonna be in the sad state. Because they gonna be like, well, damn, this is how we getting rich, and you also gonna have Jake, the ones who be living comfortable with this whore. They gonna be weeping and crying, because the Lord, they gonna be brought low. Everybody, they gonna be brought low, and they gonna be burnt. So, hey, the Lord, and we rejoice, and we gonna be rejoicing because we got the victory over this whore.
That's right.
Like this whore can take her down. She got everybody else. She goddamn.
Well, but remember, going back to the scripture we read earlier, right? The power was given unto this whore. The Lord gave it unto you. So all these other nations don't realize that the Most High was in the midst the whole time, man. This is Psalms 83:1. It says a song or a psalm of Asaph. It says, keep not thy silence, O power. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
Hey, and it's like, and then what it say, hey, these nations, man, so these nations come together and come up with advice and counsel on how to deal away with the Israelite. Being an enemy to the Israelite, how can we goddamn come up with this, to go against them, to not know this, to not know that, to hide this and hide that, but they gonna go more into detail.
It says they have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones.
See, they taking crafty counsel to get the people, which is the Israelite, and assault against the hidden one, which we are the hidden ones in plain sight. Because we the one who the Bible speak of, but when it comes to reality, we don't look like the people the Bible speak of.
Right.
They like, man, y'all some nigga, y'all the Lord people, nigga, look how y'all living amongst the earth. Y'all nigga got to be being gangsters and thugs, and hey, the image of America push on how the Israelite look, it look bad to the people, to the point now they can't be the people. But the scripture tell you where it say that you're not my people. I can't quite rephrase it how it go, but I ain't gonna butcher it. Yeah. But we the Lord people in the land where it say we are not the Lord people. Right? We the ones that hitting with these folk pay millions of dollars to keep their truth hidden from you. So we're the hidden one.
Millions ain't shit.
Right. Right, cause it went from million to trillion, cause when they start following, oh shit, nigga, we gotta add more money to the pot to goddamn to try to shut it down. They waking up.
They paid off all these they paid off all these other leaders, man. You don't worry about these low level people that walk by, and these people they don't matter. They're fodder for the cannon, right? But we talking about the high ups, the leadership, right, of these other nations, Moab, Ammon, Ishmael. Okay, all these other different leaders, man, they know what time it is. They watch these videos more than anybody else.
Right.
They learning just like everybody else. They know what's coming. They just trying to stop it. That's all it is, man.
Right.
This is Psalms 83 and 4. They have said, "Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance."
See, and they did that. So all these nations came together and cut us off. All these heathen nations came together and cut us off from being a nation. So they sat down, they had council, secret council, give each other advice how to cut them off from how to cut them off from knowing the true name of the Lord, how to cut them off for their heritage, their culture, who they are, how they operate, how they supposed to move, how they supposed to think. They cut all that off. And I did a video the other night was showing you the nations who cut us off. I showed a picture. You had this Islamic woman, which Ishmaelite, go back to Arab. She was sitting there. You had the so-called Israelite woman sitting down on the ground. She was a Negro woman, but the Israelite Negro woman. She was sitting down Indian style, and you had the Islamic woman standing over her like superior. But you niggas run around saying you Muslim though.
Right.
But she standing over her like, yeah, nigga. Then I had another picture with an Edomite white man doing the same thing to a Negro man, Israelite man. He's sitting down on the ground in style. He got his hand on their head like a goddamn dog. Then I showed a picture with the Hamites, the Africans. They whipping you, but on the other side of the picture, it's showing Esau doing the same thing. All these nations came against you and cut you off from being a nation. But that's why they gonna have to pay. That's why all these nations gonna have to go on that judgment. They gonna serve captivity and slavery too. With America, the white man Edomite, they gonna get burnt alive. But they also the higher up, the higher ups, because the ones on this side, you ain't gonna make it. You gonna die through nuclear fire. So, but the ones on the other side, they gonna go into captivity, and we gonna beat the mess out of them folk, beat the shit out of them. They gonna serve the 1,000-year period. We gonna burn them and get rid of them.
Well,
that's according to the Bible.
Well, also the so-called white man, a part of his prophecy is the fact that not only America's going to be destroyed, but he's going into slavery for 1,000 years. Because he's got the crime of touching the apple of the Lord's eye, which is the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, right? So now for that crime, now he's trying to gaslight the entire world, namely with the so-called starting using so-called blacks. He's trying to gaslight the entire world into thinking that we're thugs, but really, you created thugs. Your whole culture created who you call black people, right? You call these people that because you started this shit, all right, in slavery, where you turn the slave against each other, right? And you use gaslighting tactics, all right, to keep them separate. Right. So that the chains can stay on there, not only on them physically, but in their mind as well.
Hey, they also go when you showing that movie, doing that movie Django.
Yep. When
he had them fighting, man, they want to fight. Like, man, I ain't trying to, nigga. If you want to goddamn set, nigga, you gonna fight. But they also used to tell the nigga, if you want to sleep in the house, nigga, you got to do this.
Yep.
You want niggas, it's winter, nigga, wind hitting.
Yep.
30 degrees.
Yep.
They already wouldn't give you no clothes to put on. Really? So you had to do certain things in order to, like, all right, shit, I want to sleep in the house, and now you got to do it. But you know, like the brother said, Esau Edom, the one set everything up like that for us to, you know, we play our part because we went off, but the Lord still used him as a whipping stick, you know, to do the things he do according to us. That part of getting us out of order, basically.
Right.
Moving how we move and fighting against each other. We weren't doing that shit in slavery.
Right.
We were trying to figure out how to get the fuck away from them niggas.
That's Edomite culture, man.
Right.
Edomite culture, which they call themselves white today, Edomite culture is violent. Okay, violence all over the place. Stealing, robbing, killing, murdering. Okay, looting. Okay, hey, taking people's identity. But then, oh, Slaki.
No, go ahead.
But then, you know what I'm saying? But then on top of that, he'll create a law that says, well, you can't have identity theft. But nigga, you the biggest identity thief.
Right, this nigga culture vulture.
Right.
He ain't got no culture. Everything they come up with from some kind of type of belief of religion worship, they steal it from somebody.
Finished.
They don't come up with that on their own. They steal everything for themselves. See how Lord turned the curses. When they came up with, when they first came to America, they weren't looking like how did you see the Edomite look.
Boy, you see a poor Edomite, bro. Bro, wait a minute. You got a poor Edomite in your own kingdom, bro. That's how fucked up the so-called white man is, man. Your own people is out here living in tents, man. If it was us, our people, our people would have nice luxury homes and shit. But the so-called white man, his own people out here homeless, man, running around. What fucking kind of kingdom is this? Right?
So when they came over here, they all were good.
Yeah.
They all were good.
Yeah, just hold
Nah,
it.
it's all good. You just lay that on the ground. They all good, man. They ain't got that over here. Look at how they looking now. When they all came over here, you know they had a part of
That's right.
having some kind of wealth to start off with.
That's right.
But now the Lord turning the curse. You would have seen that man. You be like, yeah, but goddamn, that's how they gonna be looking in the kingdom.
Right. Even worse.
Well, worse, but you gotta.
This is Psalms 83:4 again. It says, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may no more be in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee.
See, they came together in one consent. Started coming up with advice and counsel how to come up against the Israelite to cut them off from being a nation.
Right.
The Chinese, Japanese, the Hamites, the Africans, Esau, white man, all these nations came together, man, to cut us off. That's why all of them got the, like I said, all of them gonna have to pay a price. But Esau, he gonna get it the worst out of all of them.
That's right. I got a precept.
You got that.
Revelation 17:17. It says, for the Most High have put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled.
Right? Because the Lord gonna, like we say, the Lord gonna have these nations to take down America, man. But like you say, at the end of the day, yeah, it still look like, well, you know, we don't think nothing gonna happen, no wars or nothing gonna jump out. Nah, man, the beast gonna turn on this whore and they gonna come with it.
Right.
And they gonna fear the will and the prophecy of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua.
That's right. I read that again. Revelation 17:17. For the Most High have put in their hearts, which is their minds,
Yep.
to fulfill his will. Which
See?
that goes back. No,
Nah, go ahead. Now say what you say.
Which goes back to what the brother was saying, man. Like, look, man, the Lord gave this spirit, this power unto the devil, Satan, all right, today to rule this earth. So now he's ruling this earth through the power of him giving suggestion through the so-called white man, using that suggestion, his sword, which is a part of his sword, right? And that suggestion was able for him to come into power, while everybody gave him the keys to their kingdom, right? You want to say something?
Nah, you have to tell that.
Just a little bit, and we're gonna finish off on that. And then what else we got?
Jump in.
It says Revelation 17:17. For the Most High have put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, which is the EU, the NATO. It says, until the words of the Most High should be fulfilled. Yeah, so, you know, these words are going to be fulfilled through Esau Edom, which is America, which is the whore that sits upon the beast, right? That scarlet colored beast the brother was talking about. This is that whore that sits upon that beast, man. And the beast being the EU and NATO, okay? EU and NATO is the beast in these current times, man, which they all derive from the Roman Empire, which that goes in Revelation 13 that talks about, matter of fact, let me read that real quick. You got it? Revelation 13 and 15. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, which is talking about this lifestyle, the ways of America, the ways of the Roman Empire, the Roman system, right? It says that the image of the beast should both speak, and how's it speaking? Through its laws, right? Through its laws, through its statutes, through its commandments, right? So-called white man has laws, statutes, commandments as well, right? So that's how he speaks. He passes laws, right? It says, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Yeah. So hey, and that word "killed" right there is in the Greek is separated. All right. But ultimately, that's what's gonna happen because people are gonna come together and say, well, they doing it right now. Yeah. They say, well, listen, we're gonna deport everybody that so-called hates America, right? Who you think he's talking about? Yep. It's like
No, you good. Actually, you doing your.
All right, so we're gonna jump back on what you
See, you doing you. You can go back to 17 and 4. Then I'm gonna grab one more precept from 11 to 12.
No, this your story. You want to keep building everything up. This is Revelation 17:4. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication.
She having that golden cup in her hand full of filthiness and abomination, man. Meaning you can do what the fuck you want to do. You can be a shit, man can be on man, woman can be on woman. You can worship what you want to worship. You can fuck a cat, dog, marry a tree. Man, they play just straight to foul, man. Got that cup and that abomination. That's why I said Babylon's that golden cup in the Lord's hand. It's that golden cup filled up with the destruction of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. Why? Because the cup of Babylon filled with abomination, with wickedness. So that's why the Lord gonna take this place down through everything what the brothers that brought on to read. That's why the Lord is gonna destroy this place, man. Shalom, Yahweh by Shem Yahushua Rakatah. So you got matter of fact, Revelation 18:11, and read down to 12.
This is Revelation 18:11. It says, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore.
And that's the point, right? The nation's gonna be weeping, man. The merchants, because everybody who dealing with America, who getting rich out the back of this whore, like we said, they gonna be crying and weeping for this place, man. We're gonna be rejoicing that when the Lord take this place down.
Right.
We ain't got nothing. Shit, it ain't nothing here for us. Shit, nigga, you keep living here, nigga. Shit, we be on goddamn, everybody be on turn down, man. You probably don't have, man, but you ain't gonna have true master of the Lord, goddamn backslide. But you got brothers who got there today, they feel like the Lord taking too long, but they backslide, you know, but they place to destroy you with a soul destruction, man, if we keep being here. Right. But you know, Yahweh Shem Yahushua gonna get up out of the mix though. But like you said, you can run that back one more time.
And if I can say also, homosexuality is a thing that's pushed out here. You know, in our kingdom, that's not gonna be a thing. You know, so the fact that you can still smoke a cigarette and go buy a man as a whore in this society lets you know that this is not a righteous society. This is Revelation 18:11 again. It says, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buys their merchandise anymore.
Right, so ain't nobody gonna be able to do no business and no trade with America once the Lord judge their place and take it down. With number 12.
Verse 11, I'm gonna read 12. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones, and the pearls and fine linen, and purple and silk and scarlet, and all thine wood.
See, that's that costliness, you know, of America, man. With the expenses and wealth and riches. Hey, the Lord gonna bring it to naught. All the materialistic thing what these people desire and want on this side so bad that they willing to side with the devil. Esau eating so-called white man, red man to get it. The Lord gonna take this place down, man.
Right. But they was sit on that. Sure. Yeah, 12. Unless it has on out. Oh, you can keep reading.
In all manner of vessels, it's like in all manner of vessels of ivory, and all manner of vessels of most precious wood, and of brass, and of iron, and of marble. That's it.
And that's the point, because America live in luxury, man, out of all the kingdom of the earth, right? You know, you have the other kingdom nation, they set up, you know, with the little, you know, materialistic thing, the wealth, but America got it though.
They still got it. Some more on it, to about 15. Yeah, 16. This is the rest.
You really ain't got to unless you really want to read.
Yeah, because it's,
All right,
I mean,
come on, bring it out.
yeah.
Come on, bring it out.
Break it out.
All right, come on with it.
This Revelation 18 and 13, it says, and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil
Right.
and fine flour.
Because America got all that going on, man. You gonna find everything with the brothers that name all through the stores out here through America, man. Through every business and merchant out here, they got it.
Right.
America got it, man. That's why you, like we say, that's why you have a lot of these nations, heathen nations. They fly over here, come up here, set up, they live and come get they stove. America fund them loans to get they stove. Hey, they come set up shop, get rich, buy the little merchant. They take everything back to their people, to their land, and live wealthy over there.
That's right.
But you come over here, get rich, you go over there, you can live like a goddamn boss.
Yeah, right. Right. You take $30,000 over to Belize.
Man,
and
it
live like a
crazy.
damn king. It says, and sheep, and horses, and chariots, and slaves, and souls of men.
And that's what we were saying earlier, go back to souls of man, when they like selling on the people through, whoredom through a witchcraft, slaves of man. And that's what you got over here. What you had slaves of man is over here in America from the Native American Indian. When they first, because when you go into slavery, they first started with the native, the northern tribe. Then later on, they came, you know, they got us, you know. But hey, the souls of slaves of man, they just show you right here, this is talking about America. This wasn't going on in too many places. According to this Babylon, what it's talking about, right? You had us when in captivity in ancient Babylon, but this is talking about a mystery Babylon, man. a mystery, a Babylon that it's well, you know, mystery, something difficult to understand, also mean puzzle. That puzzle, what they're trying to put together, like, what is the future mystery of Babylon? Well, this is what it's talking about, America. You got out.
Revelation 18 and 15. The merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for the fear of Revelation 18 and 15. The merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment.
See? It said the merchant who were made rich. So the people who got rich out the back of America, right, from out the back of the Israelites, what it say? They gonna stand off and see the smoke. They gonna see the smoke of the torment. They gonna see the destruction. That's why I say they gonna be weeping and crying. Because, like I say, they hate the whore, but they love at the same time. Like, damn, I hate the bitch, but I love her.
Especially when the whore oversteps his boundaries.
Right.
Right. When you a man, you know, who lives in the street life, you know, known as a pimp, right? And your whore, if you're outside and your woman, you know, and we don't promote this, that's whoremonger. But you know what I'm saying. But in that street life, right? When a man does a scene not having power or respect by his own woman, nobody respects him. When your woman disrespects you openly in public, that means you are not to be respected.
Right.
And a lot of women don't understand that, especially America, right? America promotes that type of behavior.
Yep.
All right.
Nah, you good.
It says, standing afar for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing. And so they don't want to catch the same hell that America gonna catch.
That's why I say everybody gonna be trying to flee back to their own country.
That's right.
And this shit, when the Lord started coming with the pressure on these nations, I mean, not on the nation like on Esau, Edom, so-called white man, red man.
Yep.
Man, these other nations gonna get the fuck on. That's why cause you got some, they gonna make it before it get too late. Yep. They like, before they close the airlines down and all that, you gonna have some gonna take off and they feel like, you know what, some shit in the air, it about to get real. They gonna take off these merchants over here getting rich out the back of this whore. They gonna take off and go over there and they gonna see the goddamn smoke from all the way from the other side of the country. Like, where the hell this smoke coming from?
The nukes.
Yeah, the nukes.
They started flying.
All right. Then they gonna be weeping and crying.
That's right.
Like, damn, what we gonna do? Cause everybody, cause basically, they depending on the whore.
Yep. What you need?
They would sit on. Stop. Go back to 17. Go to 5.
This is Revelation 17 and 5. And upon her forehead was written. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth.
See, Mystery Babylon the Great. And what Trump them always say, make America great again. They called it America the Great. See, they just show you, man, the Lord be tripping these folks up in their own words, man, when they speaking out to prove that who the Lord talking about. That's what I'm saying. It's not, you can't get around it. There's no other way around it. That the mystery Babylon is America. Then what it says is a mystery Babylon. We got 20. Yeah, we out. Yeah, I'm gonna just.
You should have No, you should have just hit close.
Man, my bad.
That's all.
We just gonna run through it. But when you go to that mystery Babylon, what it say? Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots, abomination of the earth. When you go into the Hebrew and break that down, it going to 666. The elder Ramla got the video breaking it down to go into it. So you can't make this shit up, man. This is talking about America.
That's right.
You got it. We gonna try to go.
Verse 6, it says, and I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. Right. And when I saw her,
no, it's like I would say, and that woman now is getting on America, right? This woman drinking with the blood of the saints, what she did from Reuben, Gad, the Native American Indian when they was over here, and also Benjamin, Judah, Levi, right? Going to captivity when they was on the ship. You had folk jumping out the ship. They probably killing them on the ship, but also was shedding blood during the time when they came over here. And you also had the blood of the prophet been shed in America too, right? And they also gonna shed the blood of the prophet during the time of what? Jacob Trouble come when they formed it, when the MOTB being implemented. Because they gonna try to make the prophet, because we know the scriptures say some of us gonna have to be martyred for Yahweh Bashim Yahushua.
Right.
Gonna have to goddamn go through the guillotine. But they play it drunken with the bloods of the Israelites.
You got out.
It says, and when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. And the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel?
Right, the angel like, nigga, why you marveling at this hoe? Like, nigga,
Right.
we gonna take this bitch down.
That's
Don't
right.
marvel at her. But then he like, damn, that bitch bad. That's how John the Revelator nigga like, damn, she bad. But the angel like, nigga,
No,
this
that
bitch
ain't it.
filthy, nigga. This hoe disgusting. We gonna
That
get
ain't
rid of
it.
this hoe. This hoe is the bucket the pestilence,
She
nigga.
got the perps.
Right.
She got them goddamn. She got the nigga. She got every package known to man. Look, they got something out here right now called Super Gonorrhea
Woo.
in Atlanta and Houston and other cities, but namely Atlanta. Atlanta's got some major. But I'm just using this on a micro level. On a
Right.
macro, America is filthy, man. But you see that whore walking from across the street, from down the street, you be like, damn, who the hell is
Right,
that?
who is that?
Right. Right? And then he walk up on her like, what the fuck is that?
Oh, boy, what the fuck?
What is that? Then you
float.
lift up that skirt, boy, and it's all types of
Ain't going
ain't
down.
nothing. Hey, boy, listen. Boy, too much going on there. It's too much going on under there.
That's a miracle for you. That's why he like, man, why you marvel at this hoe?
Come
You got
it says, wherefore didst thou marvel? It says, I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her, which hath the seven heads and 10 horns.
Right, because America being carried by the European nation, man, the European Union. The European nation union, they carrying this hoe. America round the back, but sooner or later they gonna get tired of carrying this hoe, man. And you see it now. The tension brewing up between the EU and America.
Yep.
Saying, well, we ain't gonna pay these goddamn percentages because nigga, y'all ain't what y'all doing.
Right.
So the Lord flipping the table now. They carrying this whore, but soon they gonna stop.
You got out.
Well, Turkey is the second. I would say this Turkey is the second largest army in NATO, and they are already boy piling around with Russia, man. That's a part of NATO, man. Anyway,
Right. That's what I would say, boy, they gonna burn this. Boy, they gonna burn it off the map.
that's right.
And not just gonna be Russia, China,
Nah.
all them up. No, it gonna be their own allies
That's right.
gonna participate in this shit too.
That's right. It says, verse 8. It says, the beast that thou sawest it's like the beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, which is Europe.
Yeah, Europe. And I just want it's saying that beast that was and is not is America. And in the vision, with John seen, yeah, he seen America in the vision,
Yep.
but it wasn't America time yet to be on the scene.
That's right.
Because it was during the time of the Roman Empire.
Yep. Beautiful. It says, and go into perdition.
See, and going to perdition, destruction. So before America already came in place, it was already heading for destruction from the beginning, man. See, you can't make this up, man. Well, yeah, how about you? That's what I say, man. The Lord got a special judgment for this place.
right.
You got it out.
It says, and
Oh,
they that
The Shalak, and I'm saying we already broke the 7 heads and the 10 horn down. But now it's telling you basically America coming up from amongst these people, but you got it out.
it says, and they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is.
Yet is, because it was not and yet is, it's going to America. Right? And the name written in the book of life is talking about the one who's going to receive the salvation among the beasts in America, right? Because the only one going to make it out is the elect. You're going to have the other goddamn Israelite, they like, who the fuck going to be saved?
That's right.
Saying goddamn this, that going on. What going on? But all the only people going to make it out is the elect. You got it.
It says, and here is the mind which hath wisdom, the 7 heads and 7 mountains, on which the woman sitteth, and there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen.
Oh,
and,
damn. You read 9 too?
Yeah, I just read it.
Right there. Go back to like my bad.
This is Revelation 17 and 9. And here is the mind which have wisdom.
Right, the understanding. Now the angel finna break it down, get an understanding of it. But the thing is, John the Revelator still didn't understand the prophecy. That's why he still was saying the beast. But now the Lord made it clear to us. We actually know what they're talking about, who the beast is, and all them things, them on the parables and the metaphor that the Lord using. But you got
That goes into the prophecy that says the prophets have desired to see what we
yep,
see.
see what you see.
So, hey, through the Spirit, we are.
Yep,
man.
we are the man.
Hey, Con, it says the 7 heads and 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth.
And the 7 head and the 7 man, the representation of government, man. The 7 mountains is the 7 governments. You know the word mountain go, the country government, but those are the 7 governments we're talking about. Which we Germania Minor, the French, Spanish, Britain, Greek, and the Roman. You named that. You got
It says, verse 10, it says, and there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is yet to come. It's like, and the other is not yet to come. It says, when he cometh, he must continue a short space.
all right, and the 5 were falling, right? And you know you had them back down that ancient name, but the 5 was falling. But it was like the 5 were falling was the Greek, Spanish, Germania Minor, Greek, Spanish, Germania Minor, French, and Germania Major. Those are the 5 that fell. Because right now, what it's speaking on is the time of the Roman Empire. You got
It says,
start back from the top, from 10.
verse 10, it says, and there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen,
And we named those, but 5 on falling. Go ahead.
and 1 is, and the other is not yet come.
So the one is right. What it was speaking on then was the Roman Edomite with Rome. That was the one is, and the one was not yet to come was the British, right? Those was the one were not yet to come. But when they say, go ahead, read on.
It says, and when he cometh, he must continue a short space.
See, when it's coming, they must continue a short space, and when you go into it, they did continue a short space. The British Empire didn't continue that long.
That's right.
It only lasted but so long, and you know, in America, goddamn conquered and derived and took over.
That's right. That's what the scripture says of the 8th came to 7th.
Yeah, of the 8, cause we finna get to it.
Right. It says, I'm slacking.
Nah,
for
you
jumping
good.
back. I know we got
You good. Yeah, I don't know what I want.
It says, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th and is of the 7th. It says, and goeth into perdition.
See, even he the 8 of the 7, cause he ride in the back of the Roman Empire.
Yep.
He ride in the back. That's what we said. But in a few minutes, they gonna get tired of carrying the whole. Matter of fact, jump to W 7 and 8 real quick, cause it gonna give you a different analogy how it using it, right? Cause right now it's saying the 7, but right here in Daniel 7 and 8, it gonna say 4. But it's all the same thing. All right, we got 10. We try to run through it real quick.
This is Daniel 7 and 8. It says, I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn. It's like it. Let me read it again. Daniel 7 and 8, I'll be quick. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots.
The 3 of the first horn plucked up by the root is the you had the French, the Spanish-American War, the French-American War, and the War of Independence. Those are the 3 that were plucked up by the roots.
That's right.
You got it.
It says, and behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things.
Yeah, or wisdom. I was like, man, having that wet wisdom. You got it.
But those great things was talking about how he's going to destroy the Israelites and the Most High.
Speaking great things, y'all go back to Revelation 13 when they be speaking great things too. When you go read in Revelation 13, read on down, you'll see how they, that devil speaking great things. You ain't got to do it. We can just try to run through it. But we gonna jump to we'll keep jump. You keep reading.
Verse 9 it says, and I beheld.
Well, go back to 12. Yeah, I just want that point 7 just to bring out that little horn with representation. It was saying the same thing, but they broke it down in a different analogy. If I said it right. You go now, so like 17 and 12. We tried to just go and skip through this little part real fast.
This is Revelation 17 and 12. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings which have received no kingdom